Welcome to my channel Homeschool Learner. Today we will learn about cirrus. Cirrus is a genus of atmospheric cloud generally characterized by thin, wispy strands, giving the type its name from the Latin word cirrus, meaning a ringlet or curling lock of hair. Such a cloud can form at any altitude between 5,000 and 13,700 meter above sea level. The strands of cloud sometimes appear in tufts of a distinctive form referred to by the common names of mare's tail. The abbreviation is CI. The species are Castellanus, fibratus, flocus, spistatus, unices. The varieties are duplicatus, intortus, radiatus, vertebratus. The altitude is 5,000 to 15,000 meter. It is classified family A. The appearance is high altitude, thin and wispy cloud streaks composed of ice crystal. It is not a precipitation cloud. From the surface of Earth, cirrus clouds typically appear white or a light gray in color. They form when water vapor undergoes deposition at altitudes above 5,000 to 5,500 meter in temperature region and above 6,400 meter in tropical ones. They also form from the outflow of tropical cyclones and from the anvils of cumulonimbus clouds. They also arrive in advance of those storms associated frontal system, likely presaging a deterioration in weather conditions. Though indicating the arrival of precipitation, these clouds produce themselves at most fall streak whose ice crystal evaporate in warmer and drier air without reaching ground level. Jet stream powered cirrus can grow long enough to stretch across continents while remaining only a few kilometers deep. Interaction of visible light with the ice crystal in them produce below optical phenomena such as sundogs and halos. Cirrus is known to raise the temperature of the air beneath the main cloud layer by an average of 10 degrees centigrade when the individual filaments become so extensive as to be virtually extinguishable one from another. They form a sheet of high cloud called cirrostratus. Convection at high altitude can produce another high-based genus of cloud, cirrocumulus, with a pattern of small cloud tufts containing droplets of supercooled water. Some polar stratospheric clouds can resemble cirrus, and noctilucent clouds typically become structured in ways similar to those cirrus. Cirrus clouds also form in the atmospheres of other planets including Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune, and have been seen even on Titan, one of Saturn's larger moons. Some of these extraterrestrial cirrus clouds are composed of ammonia or ice of methane, much as white terrestrial water ice. The term cirrus also applies to certain interstellar clouds composed of sub-micrometer size grain of dust. Cirrus clouds are formed when water vapor undergoes deposition at high altitudes where the atmospheric pressure ranges from 600 millibar at 4,000 meter above sea level to 200 millibar at 12,000 meter above sea level. These conditions commonly occur at the leading edge of a warm front. Because humidity is low at such high altitude, this genus type tends to be very thin. Cirrus clouds are composed of ice crystal that originate from the freezing of supercooled water droplets in region where air temperature is lower than minus 20 degrees centigrade or minus 30 degrees centigrade. Cirrus usually occur in fair weather. They are formed when it is high enough to be cold and freeze the water drops into ice. They sometimes may be caused by turbulence and wind shear or by upper tropospheric convection. Sometimes they are like blown out ice crystals spreading from the top of a dying cumulonimbus. Cyclones forms from tropical cyclones and is commonly seen fanning out from the eyeballs of hurricanes. A large shield of cirrus and cirrostratus typically accompanies the high altitude outflow of hurricanes or typhoons, and this can make the underlying rain bands and sometimes even the eye difficult to detect in satellite photographs. Thunderstorm can form dense cirrus at their tops. As the cumulonimbus cloud is a thunderstorm grows vertically, the liquid water droplets freeze when the air temperature reaches the freezing point. The anvil cloud takes its shape because the temperature inversion at the tropopause prevents the warm, moist air forming the thunderstorm from rising the higher, thus creating the flat top. In the tropics, these understorms occasionally produce copious amount of cirrus from their anvils. High altitude winds commonly push this dense mat out into an anvil shape that stretches downwind as much as several kilometers. Individual cirrus cloud formation can be the remnants of anvil clouds formed by thunderstorm. In the dissipating stage of a cumulonimbus cloud, when the normal column rising up to the anvil has evaporated or dissipated, the mat of cirrus in the anvil is all that is left. Contrails are the artificial type of cirrus cloud from when water vapor from the exhaust of a jet engine condenses on particles which come from either the surrounding air or the exhaust itself and freezes, leaving behind a visible trail. The exhaust can also trigger the formation of cirrus by providing ice nuclei when there is an insufficient naturally occurring supply in the atmosphere. One of the environmental impacts of aviation is that persistent contrails can form into large mats of cirrus, and increased air traffic has been implicated as one possible cause of the increase in frequency and amount of cirrus in Earth's atmosphere. Effects of climate: cirrus cloud cover up to 25% of the Earth and have a net heating effect. When they are thin and translucent, the clouds efficiently absorb outgoing infrared radiation while only marginally reflecting the incoming sunlight. When cirrus clouds are 100-meter thick, they reflect only around 9% of the incoming sunlight, but they prevent almost 50% of the outgoing infrared radiation from escaping, thus raising the temperature of the atmosphere beneath the clouds by an average of 10 degrees centigrade, a process known as the greenhouse effect. Average worldwide cloud formation result in a temperature loss of 5 degrees centigrade at the Earth's surface, mainly the result of stratocumulus cloud. As a result of their warming effects, when relatively thin cirrus clouds have been implicated as a potential partial cause of global warming. Scientists have speculated that global warming could cause high thin cloud cover to increase, thereby increasing temperatures and humidity. This in turn would increase the cirrus cloud cover, effectively creating a positive feedback circuit. A prediction of this hypothesis is that the cirrus would move higher as the temperature rose, increasing the volume of air underneath the clouds and the amount of infrared radiation reflected back down to Earth. In addition, the hypothesis suggests that the increase in temperature would tend to increase the size of the ice crystal in the cirrus cloud, possibly causing the reflection of solar radiation and the reflection of the Earth's infrared radiation to balance out. A similar hypothesis put forth by Richard Lindzen is the Irish hypothesis, in which an increase in tropical sea surface temperatures results in fewer cirrus clouds and thus more infrared radiation emitted to space. That's it for today. I will come back with another nice video. If you like this video, give it a comment, give it a like. Thank you.